Imagine this. A massive explosion lights up the sky brighter than the sun. A city vanishes in a blinding flash. The ground shakes, shockwaves ripple across the landscape, and everything within miles is reduced to ash. The world has just witnessed the detonation of a nuclear bomb, one of the deadliest forces ever created by mankind. Now picture this. Hours later, after the flames die down and the radiation settles, something moves. Something small, something alive. Crawling through the rubble, undisturbed by the radiation that would kill a human in minutes. It's not a robot, it's not a mutant, it's an insect. One that may have been in your kitchen yesterday. One that has existed since the time of the dinosaurs. The cockroach. For decades, people have joked that cockroaches will be the last creatures standing after the apocalypse. But is that just a myth? Or is there real science behind the idea that this insect can survive what would wipe out the rest of us? Let's start with the basics. Nuclear explosions are not just bombs, they're events of unimaginable destruction. Temperatures can reach over 1,000,000 degrees Celsius at the center of the blast. Shockwaves travel faster than sound, flattening everything in their path. And perhaps most dangerously, the explosion releases ionizing radiation, enough to kill a human being within hours or even minutes, depending on exposure. So how could anything survive that? Let's be clear. Nothing can survive being directly at the center of the explosion. If a cockroach were standing next to the bomb, when it detonated, it wouldn't even leave dust behind. But that's not what the claim is about. It's not about surviving the blast, it's about surviving the radiation that follows. And that's where things get interesting. Cockroaches are one of the oldest creatures on the planet. Fossil records show that they've been around for more than 300 million years. That means they crawled under the feet of dinosaurs and survived all 5 major mass extinction events, including the one that wiped out the T-Rex. They've adapted to every environment, from rainforests to deserts, and yes, even human homes. Their evolutionary success is built on 2 things: resilience and simplicity. But what about radiation? That's where science begins to confirm the myth. Studies conducted during and after the Cold War, especially in the wake of nuclear tests, revealed something shocking. Cockroaches could survive levels of radiation that would easily kill a human. While humans start experiencing radiation sickness at around 100 to 200 rads and die at doses above 1,000, cockroaches have been shown to survive exposures of up to 10,000 rads. That's 10 times more than us. So how do they do it? The secret lies in their biology. Radiation damages cells when they divide. Cells that divide rapidly, like those in the human digestive system or bone marrow, are especially vulnerable. But cockroaches have a much slower rate of cell division. Their bodies don't constantly regenerate tissue the way ours do, and that slower turnover means radiation has fewer chances to cause deadly mutations during reproduction or repair. Some species of cockroach even have protective exoskeletons and thick outer layers that act as natural armor, offering mild shielding against environmental threats. They can also go for weeks without food, survive without their heads for days, and even hold their breath for over 40 minutes. These aren't just gross little bugs, they are survival machines. After the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, survivors reported something eerie: cockroaches crawling around in the ruins. While almost every other creature had perished, these bugs seemed to carry on as if nothing had happened. That's not just creepy. It's symbolic of just how tenacious they really are. But here's the twist. Cockroaches aren't even the most radiation-resistant organisms on Earth. Enter Deinococcus radiodurans, also known as Conan the bacterium. This microorganism can survive up to 1.5 million rads. Yes, million. It can repair its own DNA even after being shattered by radiation. Then there's the legendary tardigrade, or water bear. This microscopic creature can survive extreme cold, boiling heat, massive pressure, and even the vacuum of outer space. It can curl into a dried-up ball and wait for decades. then come back to life when water returns. Radiation barely phases it. Compared to these biological titans, cockroaches are mid-tier survivors. But in the context of urban environments, they're still one of the most formidable creatures out there. So why do people focus on cockroaches instead of tardigrades or bacteria? Simple. Because cockroaches are visible. They're in our homes. They're the uninvited guests that never leave. And the idea that they could inherit the Earth if we wiped ourselves out with nukes? That hits a little too close to home. It's not just science, it's a metaphor. One that reminds us that no matter how advanced we think we are, nature always finds a way. Think about it. Humans need clean water, food, shelter, medicine, and a stable environment to survive. Cockroaches need almost nothing. In fact, they can go without food for a month, live off glue or cardboard, and even survive decapitation. Seriously, if you cut off a cockroach's head, it won't bleed to death. It will just continue walking around for days until it dies of thirst. And while we spend billions on nuclear weapons and fallout shelters, they just crawl into a crack in the wall and wait. If the worst happens, they won't fight. They won't panic. They'll endure. That's their superpower. Not strength, not intelligence. Just pure, unfiltered survival. In a way, cockroaches are like nature's quiet warning. A reminder that resilience is more powerful than dominance. That in the end, it won't be the loudest or most advanced species that survives the apocalypse. It will be the one that can live in the shadows, the one that can wait, the one that doesn't need comfort or control or civilization. So, next time you see a cockroach in your kitchen and reach for a shoe, take a moment. You're not just dealing with a pest. You're facing a creature that has outlived dinosaurs, witnessed extinction events, endured radiation that would kill you instantly, and will almost certainly still be here if humanity disappears in a cloud of nuclear fire. That's not science fiction. That's just biology. If you found this as fascinating and a little disturbing as I did, go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing. There's a whole world of strange and unbelievable science waiting to be uncovered, and sometimes the smallest creatures hold the biggest surprises. Until next time, stay curious and maybe don't turn off the lights just yet.